Welcome to Free Podcast Tools. This is the step-by-step how-to podcast guide. We are on step number 4, which is website or an alternative. Mel is joining me again. Awesome to have you, Mel. How are you?
I am great, like always.
Terrific. So we are going to dive into this, and I'm old school, so I am open to new ideas and stuff. However, when I started podcasting in 2006, everybody at the time was like, you got to have your own website. You want to build your traffic to your website. That's where you want people to go to if they need any additional information. You don't want to build up some media host company so they're continually getting traffic and you're not building anything. So that was the old way of doing things. I still apply it now. But if you don't like that idea of having to manage a WordPress website or some other service out there, there are plenty of done-for-you services, I like to call them, out there, including the one I'll include an affiliate link underneath in the description. If you want to check them out, I do get a small amount of money if you end up going with them, but it does not add any additional cost to you. So if you want to support Free Podcast Tools, my affiliate links that's a good way to do just that. So it kind of comes down to a few things. If you're going to go with WordPress, yes, you've got your own presence on the web, but now you're incurring web hosting every year. You may potentially, and I hate to say this is the darker side of this conversation, you could get hacked. And that's a whole big mess if that happens. And there's other things. There are bandwidth limitations and all sorts of things that can happen. And we're just talking about for the website itself. We're not talking about for the media file yet. We're talking for just your website. Where's your home base going to be? So a lot of people will choose these done-for-you services, and the only thing that I have an issue with is you're building the foundation of your brand on somebody else's soil. That's my only caveat is at some point you might feel like, man, I'm ready to have my website. Now you've got to switch the gears on people going there. Now some of these services will allow you to bring your own domain name, like have a forwarding kind of mechanism in place. So if you get lucky enough to get a service like that, then that transition is seamless. But you got to be really careful. Some of those places are like the Roach Motel. Check in, can't check out.
So from your point of view, the pros and cons are, the pros of this place of going to a different place is you, for the most part, you don't have to worry about web hosting or bandwidth or the headaches of kind of creating a website. Yep. But the cons are it isn't yours.
Yes.
So to speak. Okay.
So to speak, yes. So if they let you do some sort of domain masking, that's cool and stuff, but are they going to have everything you're ever going to want to implement? Say you want to capture email addresses and you got to think of all these different things that you may want to do. I want to run a poll. Well, where are you going to run the poll? Do they have the mechanism in place for you to do it there? Do you got to do it on social media? How are you going to get people to do these various things? And are you going to be steering them all over the web?
Okay.
To accomplish them. That's what I worry about. That's why I built my own.
And in theory, let's say this done-for-you site has all of this, but 5 years from now, whoever else does that goes out of business, but you're still doing great. I mean, how does that? I mean, if they're the foundation, can they be pulled from under you and affect you as well?
Yes, unfortunately, I've seen this song and dance before. I won't name the company, but there was a company that encouraged podcasters in the beginning.
Okay.
And then once they got a taste of what all went into podcasting, they kind of started to discourage people. So people were heading for the hills.
Okay.
And it was a big mess because now you need redirects. You got a big mess on your hands, potentially. Not always. And if if a company just goes out, their site's not going to be there to redirect people to anywhere else.
Right.
So then you're going to have to rally the troops and get creative. But
Okay.
that's worst case scenario. That hasn't happened again in a long time. So that was a long time ago.
But I mean, in theory, it's
Yeah.
something to think about.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm not doing that to scare people or anything like that.
Well, I mean, you should always know facts,
Yes.
no matter what you're getting into.
Yep.
Like the worst case scenarios is still a fact that it could happen.
Yeah.
You should know that.
Definitely. So that is a caveat, but then you can sit back and go, hey, my site's down. Go do something about it. If something's wrong, it's their problem. It's like living in an apartment.
Yes.
Your stove's broke. Come fix it.
Yes. Yes.
So, anything else about that decision? Because it's everybody's individual decision on which way they're going to go.
Um. So I know there's a section of done for you, so to speak. But what about like let's say, and I just want to use this as an example. I know it's not possible, or maybe it is, but let's say you want to do like you guys have a Marvel podcast
Mhm.
about you guys have a section of Marvel podcasts. What if somebody did that but said, "Hey, Marvel, I need a website. Can I kind of come under you?" Obviously, it wouldn't be Marvel, so to speak. It would be something a little bit smaller. Long story short is a major network or major website. Would you be able to come under them and not have to worry, or it has to be, or nobody does that? It's usually podcast networks, if that makes sense.
Yeah, some companies will. It's kind of ironic that you just said that. I can't talk about it, but there are things that companies will reach out to you potentially,
Okay.
but there's a lot of details, so a lot of paperwork to go through when you can get the sense of, do they want me to have my own stuff? Usually it's a no. Usually they're saying you're coming under our umbrella. Close that down and we'll take care of all of this stuff. So you're kind of walled in, so to speak. So you gotta, especially these networks, these small networks, you gotta really read the details on these contracts, because they can pencil you in somewhere that is not friendly to an exit.
So they're paying for the content, not really the brand, your brand recognition.
Correct.
Because you're already doing the legwork, and they say, "Hey, you like doing the legwork? Here you go."
Yep.
So you might not even have the same same reach,
No.
reach the same people, because your name might change, the podcast name could change.
Podcast name could change. They're banking on you bringing your audience with you,
Okay.
but there could be numerous things that'll be altered. The feed will more than likely change. Now, you could redirect it on your end to them, but don't expect them to do it back. Been there, done that.
Good to know. No, it's obviously it's very rare that somebody would, you would need definitely numbers for that, but it's just good to know what you're up against.
Yes,
Like
it
I
is.
already know bureaucracy is bureaucracy, but it's good to know like what you're up against.
Yes. All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. So, website or an alternative, there's lots to think about either way. Down in the description, there are my affiliate links. Please use them if you like what I'm doing here. Free podcast tools. Mel, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
All right, thanks for having me.
And we'll be back with video number 5, which is going to be contact email and voicemail services. Ooh. Oh, the excitement.